Okay, hi there boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, it's Vimes177 Gaming, and here we are with Tip Top EU tier scrims. This is the tier 1 lobby. Our first game is on Erangel, and yeah, what would the stream be without, except my wonderful enigmatic and various other words I'm not going to use co-host, Mr. Jammy Gaming, Jamster the Hamster. How are we doing, buddy?
I am reeling at that intro. What an intro. Jamster the Hamster. Wow, loving it.
There's not many words that rhyme with Jamster, mate, so it's going to be challenging to sort of mix that one up.
Whatever makes you happy. I am really looking forward to this one. First time we've done the tier scrims for Tip Top. Having done the Open before. There's a few names, a few teams that I recognise in there, but there's quite a few that I don't as well. So yeah, it'd be good to see.
Yep, certainly get the tip of the sword. Certainly the ones that we are familiar with. They're all people who have they're all people who've won in normal Teos Lobby A scrims. So this should be very interesting. Looking forward to some great gameplay, and we're on the plane. So let's have a look at our flight line, and here we go. Woo! Yeah, so, south to north, straight over Sosnovka Mill Base and up towards Severny, Jammy.
Absolutely. So it's fairly benign start. So we've got one that goes roughly, almost central, slightly east of central. Anyone that wants to go across to George Pole Quarry is going to have to get a vehicle, but most places that they would normally drop are within reach. We've got a few teams jumping early. We usually see a couple land in military base. I'm wondering if we might have a few from teams we don't normally watch in there tonight.
We've certainly got a few exiting early. We've got squad number 15. That's our friends from Bad Boys. We've covered these guys before. We've got Delta Force going towards the middle of Mill Base. So, yeah, we may well have some action early on. Just want to cover the rest of the flight line. But Delta Force already on the deck.
Yeah, we've got Team 21, and there's another team underneath them, I think, by the looks of it. Heading out to... Is there another team underneath 21? Heading out to the western mini-base island and to that western bridge.
Yeah, I think these guys have overflowed it when they saw Delta Force going in fast. 50.
Yeah, I think it might be Team 12 that's underneath them.
So Bad Boys have gone straight into Novo crates. They're alone there, actually, interestingly. We've got a bit of a split going on from squad number 23. And potentially we've got some guys. And there's our first zone, Jammy. So Millbase will not be featuring in the later stage of the game. We're going to head up to the north because there's a lot of players around here.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're up with Team 20, who are RS2. And they're getting involved with, I think that's Team 14, the GCF Killer 2.
So we've got shots going out.
Morningstar.
We've got shots going out. We're here with CX, and they're getting into it with GC.
Yeah, that's a player from CX there, getting involved with the pistol, doing some great work early on.
Flanker here, already rocking the AKM, going in hard and fast, especially if he was fired up. Especially if he was fired up with a pistol. He's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, but the player from Team 11, whose name ends in Ting, I think it was, doing some great work with the pistol and actually getting the confirmed kill on North. The
kill on North there, yeah. So flanking out, putting out some smokes on his flanks, ironically. And yeah, we might have a poke here from one of the guys from Morningstar.
Managing to get round to the hard cover. Good early work. We don't usually see smokes this early, but some good work with the tacticals there just to beat a retreat.
So picking up Uzi as well, already got the AKM. So you have to say pretty well sorted early game for close-up personal gunfight.
Absolutely, yeah, and using the TPP peak well there just to see where his enemy is. He knows he's got more up on the high side though, so he can't go out on the roof too openly.
Let's have a look at what our friends from the Morningstar are having a look at.
Oh, nearly got a view on flanker there.
So that's one of the players from CX down. So that should have evened it up. So it's a 3-on-3 now.
So these guys are a little bit more bunched. They've got the height. Team 6 there, GC, they've got one player across the road providing the cover. But we'll have to see if that's enough. Because CX Team 11 have got some good angles here.
That's our general disposition. 1 kill apiece for both of these teams. Always interesting, these early game fights. See if people are wanting to push, but then trying to rotate out. Because this is a fairly quiet little town, so it's not as if you can roll backwards, rotate building to building and get out easily. So it's going to be an interesting one. I rather feel it might take a little while, but these guys are potentially going to fight this one out.
And there we see the cover fire coming in from Notnans over on the other side of the road. So these guys can't peek too long to get a sight of the other team. Just putting a bit of pressure fire down.
Just keeping them honest, making sure they know they haven't got it all their own way.
There's a little bit of peeking going on. You see no helmet either, and your level 1 vest, no helmet. So it's a risky move. Notnans here, got the AK with a 4-scope. So I'd imagine there'll be some single tap fire going on as soon as he gets a peek. But he knows roughly where the other players are. And you see the other two have managed to move away slightly. They're not quite as on top of them as they were.
And the other two taking a flanking position out to Notnan's right. Notnan's probably keeping a good scope on these windows in case one of these guys pokes away from the flank.
Also, just putting in the odd shot every now and again because they know Notnans is here. So there's no point in trying to stay quiet. But what he's doing is he's also drawing some fire away so they're not concentrating on his other teammates. Just
looking at the general situation on the map, we haven't really got too many other teams close to each other. Interesting split going on from Team 16. Cherrix, who we covered the other day with 2 chicken dinners. Great bunch of players. So Abs, I'm sure, will tell us which percentage of split that is. We've also got some guys from RS, actually, squad number 20, RS2. Not too far from this one, just outside Rozhok.
Yep, so they're in the sort of Watertown area. And that little compound I really like, just north of Watertown and to the west of Rozhok. It overlooks that bridge on the middle island. And it's a real good pinch point there. So we see the 2 players from GC. They've actually moved a bit further away and then they've held their position now. So these guys are in a bit of a stalemate. I'm wondering if one of the teams is going to push or whether we're just going to see maybe retreating out the back or is it just going for a better position? This
is literally going to come down to somebody maybe just having a little peek, copping a headshot, and then here comes the push. We know how fast that can happen.
Yep. That's a brave move there, coming out the front of the building with no cover. But not taking any fire.
There we go. So putting in plenty of damage with the tap fire with the Scar L there. I don't know if that's going to be the cuter knock, although Flanker does seem to be going forward here. Yeah.
So Flanker's going with the push.
Flanker going up. Here we go. Flanker going in with the AKM. Exactly what we described. Literally one single poke is all it can take to bring the push on.
Yeah, and they've also got another player knocked as well. So Flanker not messing around here. Going straight up to the other two with the Uzi. Going in for a second push.
Okay.
6 seconds to go.
Looks like Ting is attempting the revive. I don't know where his invisible teammate is there. Nice graphic glitch. We'll go down, pre-firing the stairs.
Just holding these guys off long enough so his teammate can get some heals in.
Yeah.
One of the GC players going outside, trying to get a wider.
It's going to be interesting. Oh, wow. I was expecting the jump shot through the window and strafe as you go down there, but... and that's a nice little move up on the ledge, poking the stairs.
So there we go. So all 3 players from GC have joined this push now. So that, as I said, that was some excellent work.
Great work there, managing to get a few shots into each other. I think our friend Ting here got the worst of it very quickly, trying to get some meds in. Potentially needs to get off this terrace roof here.
Yeah, so we've got smokes coming in now.
You have to feel the guys from GC really coming forward, but a beautiful poke through the window there. Doesn't quite manage to establish a knock.
They are taking lumps out of each other here. No one's quite able to finish this off at the moment. We've got a 3v2. Some brilliant, brilliant play on both sides as well. Just cooking the nade up. Nice defensive one. Cancels that off.
They absolutely know where Ting is. And Ting has got a look, but not quite managing to get that one. It is
Chili Oil managing to get wide, and what that does, it means that Ting can't get too high. He can't now. He can no longer stand up on this this balcony. So that's just cut off his ability to move quickly and get through that window as well. Chili Oil a little bit exposed, but doing great work there, making sure Ting's in a bit of trouble here.
And you have to say, these two guys in the house, Not Nans and Flanker, should have pushed this one and cleared at least this player by now.
Yeah, doing a brilliant, brilliant holding job here.
The guys from squad number 11, Morningstar, doing a fantastic job here under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they had their player taken out, exactly as you said, the long-range knock and then the push. But these two are holding on really well against the three players. No helmet still for this player. So that makes it even...
I think our friends from GC here are effectively saying they want to win this fight, they want to move on, but they really don't want to go down to a duo doing it.
No, absolutely. Here comes Chili Oil now, I think, or is it Flanker coming upstairs?
I mean, it's interesting when you get these fights early game because you get this sort of gunfight or standoff in phase 6. You'd have heard 30 grenades by now.
Yeah, absolutely. Managing to make it out the window, just getting the little window ledge bug there that you can't jump straight out. And
so ultimately, our friends from squad number 6, and that is GC again, taking that one with 4 kills. Excellent fight there. You have to give credit to our friends from Morningstar. They really made that a good fight. But GC well established now.
It cost them a teammate, but they've got 4 kills out of that, and they'll be fired up now. That was some brilliant work to clear that. I mean, it took longer than they would have hoped, because it was brilliant defence.
Never stops. We're here straight into it again with squad number 24. That's the guys from RS Rise. The squad number 22, that's another GC team. 6 kills already established for squad number 22. And we've got squad number 5, that is Tip Top Teletubbies, not too far away from this one. They've got a knock player. They've got a knock player, but they should be able to get that player back on his or her feet pretty quickly. In fact, that's already been achieved. So these guys, 6 kills and going to be continuing as a full squad of 4. So great play.
Yeah, good start for them.
Let's check out our friend from CN1, Tip Top Aries.
So these guys have also got 4 kills. So we've got plenty of early kills in this game. It seems that the slightly eastern flight path and then a western zone has forced some people into... I mean, look at these guys. They're aiming for sort of a roughly central holding position there.
So Aries putting out a bit of tap fire with the M4.
Yeah, so you can see all the burnt out vehicles. So Team 20 still holding their position west of Rozhok, just north of Watertown, just holding that pinch point of the bridge in the north. 3 teams up on the very north there, the other side of the river. We've got some action down on the western Millibase Island. Western bridge of Millibase Island. CX Daddy been taken down there despite his best efforts with the DBS.
So here we are with Godcake from CX squad number 13. That's another team from Morningside. Jump shot to over the wall. And oh, well, I did think Godcake was going to manage that there, but obviously that was a very tight fight. And it looks like our friend here with the interesting name, who I'm not going to attempt.
Can't get the vehicle out quick enough. He'll have to do it. It's going to be about a 17-point turn. So he can't make his escape. So he's going to have to hold this one or run on foot.
And he's unfortunately in a position where he's got two teammates down. His other teammate is going to bleed out. No way to get there. So you have to say that not really much of an option to try and rotate out with Blue pushing in on phase 2 and difficulty getting that vehicle out.
Yeah. So I think Mantalis from D-Force here. That's the one that this player's watching. He's going to try and gatekeep him from coming back in from the blue. He's got another player from Team 18 to his left, so he can't actually go out the front here. He's just going to have to try and hold Mantalis as long as he can, and then maybe make a push round the other side of this building.
So let's have a look at our situation. We are 16 teams still contesting, 53 players left alive, and we are coming towards the end of phase 2 of the game. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see where our zone breaks on this one. And there we go. That's our friend taken out. So Mantalis already looking to rotate, get the next location for squad number 18. That's the guys from Delta Force. And
no one at the compound in front of him. He'll be very pleased to see that. I'd imagine they can go down. And although look at his gear, he's got. These were the guys. Were they on Mini Base Island? I think. So they're level 3'd up, and that's quite a tough zone.
And there's our next circle, Jamie, and yeah, so we're well south of the river, so that's not going to be contesting. We do have a number of compounds still available, so might be interesting.
Absolutely. So we've got the centre of the zone. We've got a couple of squads there, but up in the north we've got quite a bit of an area.
Okay, we're here with a couple of teams we've covered before, Cherix and Only, and yeah, we've got this wonderful unrendered graphic situation. Here we go. I can assure you these players probably aren't in the open quite as much. There we go. Cherix obviously we covered them the other night, getting chicken dinners in 2 games, final 2 games, I believe, when we covered
they did, yeah.
Labier the other night. Getting into it with our friends from Only. Cherix still standing as a full squad. Looks like Only are already down to 3. And my word, look at that. There's 2 knocked, 1 dead, and our friend Silo here is looking to rotate out, getting some fire, 2 tyres on the buggy blown, just doing his very best to get out of there, doesn't manage it. Fantastic work, and that was a third party from the guys from squad number 20 RS2. They're now coming under Vic Zander, but Pandawick, who we've covered before, knocked in that exchange of fire, and oh yeah, these guys have woken up.
Yeah, I mean, they were holding that area to the west of Rozhok, and they've now moved down, and they're yeah, they're taking the fight to people. They're taking down the third parties, but that was a very quick takedown from a guy from Team 7, from Vixard even, sorry. Well, I think one of their players has just been knocked now, up on the hillside. Yeah, by DG. I think that's the same team, isn't it? RS. Oh, no, we've got 2 RS teams.
Yeah, we've got 3.
We've
got a couple of clans with multiple teams.
So most teams have made it into zone. Team 17 around the southeast, just south of Pochinki. And Team 6, they're the ones that are rotating in from Rozhok that we saw with that early action.
So our friends from Vic Zander here, they are. They've got a couple of teams around them. They're under some fire. All fairly medium range engagement at this moment in time.
Yes, it's too far to be able to get the knock and push, but it's using up their energy, using up ammo and heals and smokes and anything else these guys have got.
Let's check out our friends from RS here. Yep, they're looking at the guys from Vic, and there's also another squad just off to their right.
And these guys are edge of zone. Now they're going to have to make a move. The zone's broken again. So these guys are able to hold the edge of zone, but they are going to have to move fairly soon.
We're phase 4 of the game. We've got 1 minute 30 seconds till it starts to push. We're down to 13 teams left alive, 45 players.
What I haven't seen, if these guys of RS of Team 20, have they got a vehicle? I don't think they have.
There's our next circle break, and these guys all well out of zone now. And looks like we potentially, let's have a quick check at that. We've got squad number 18. We've already covered these guys. Delta Force getting into it with, I believe this is a team from the Bad Boys.
Yeah, so they're in that little gully just by Gatka. using what they've got to hide.
And they're getting squad pushed by squad number 14 on a crash. The 14 were going for the crash or didn't realise they were driving right in the middle of 3 squads. That's going to be painful.
Yeah, these guys they're having to look in every direction. Doesn't quite connect there with the spray from the M4. In a brilliant Overwatch position here, but that player did make it to the high ground from Team 14. So he'll be feeding information back to the rest of his team and maybe even taking a few long-distance pot shots himself.
Mentalis rotating out of that, the sole surviving member of his team. The guys from 14 taking what available cover they have, which is not a lot.
But they're in zone. So it is hard cover. It's only just hard cover, but it is hard cover in zone. So it will do them for now.
Do you think that's hard cover? I really don't want to see your house.
Oh, dear. I mean, there's really not room for 3 to hide in there. It's better than being in the open. I'll give them that. So we've got players being taken down by the zone now. As the late stages start to bite into what we phase 4 of the game. We've still got 12 teams, 41 players. Phase 4. Teams 20, 22 up on the high ground, 12. I mean, we've got a lot of teams fighting over the same sort of ground here.
Yes, we do indeed. We've got elements of 12, 22, 26, not too far away. We've got a lot of players all concentrating on this northern edge of circle. This is the kind of action in phase 5 of the game that can really thin it out. We're down to 40 players left alive.
Yeah, this is where we see some of the strong rotations, some strong pushes that can be decisive even for the rest of the game. So Team 12, they are in a hard compound there. They do have the zone, but I doubt the zone's going to stay with them. They've got plenty of teams around them.
Our friends from 16, Vixander, they are off to the right. I mean, look at all of these teams contesting right this edge of circle.
Yeah, you'd think this was centre zone in the only compound, the way they're fighting over it. It's actually edge of zone. So phase 5.
Actually, just going to take a wide view of this, just so you get an impression of just how close some of these players are together in this quite small zone, phase 5 of the game. We're down to 35 players.
Yeah, and if you see, there's not many hard compounds left. A lot of it is just using the topography, using the hillsides, the trees, whatever they can to gain that slight advantage. Team 17 there, beautifully placed on top of the hill, but I'm not sure if that's in zone.
So we're here with Cherix. We know these guys are good gunfighters. We know they like to get involved. They're getting into it. What a team from Tip Top. These guys are slightly outside the circle, and they do not have a lot of hard cover, you have to say.
No, absolutely not. And it looks like Team 6, GC, after that Rozhok fight, they've got a brilliant position, centre zone.
So Igor here doing his...
what they can to keep it.
Igor here doing his best to get the res on his teammate. Let's check out Nesta. Nesta going for a fast rotation, instantly gets taken out and knocked.
So many teams are watching these guys.
So Cherix in a very tough rotation to come into this part of the circle. We've still got Mentalis, I think, laying down around somewhere.
Yep, and they're 11 metres from zone. That is agonising. They are so close. But they're going to have to go into open ground just to get to zone.
We're here with our friends from Bad Boys. They're trying exactly the same thing to come into zone, but they know they've got players behind them. They've got no cover in front of them, and this is a very tough situation for all concerned. Yep, coming under pressure from VK and knocked by players from VK. This is absolutely fantastic, Vic. But Vic themselves, they've still got it all to do. They've got to get into this zone.
Yeah, so look at 6 in that hard cover. Team 5 there over in the other hard cover. And we've got Mentalis. He's trying to make his way into zone. I don't know if he's going to make it. It's going to be borderline whether he does or not.
And look at this. I mean, this is the kind of thing we expect at this level. We have gone from 45 players down to 19 in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, and Mentalis taken down by the play zone there. Also taken down Buer Luz.
So 6, squad number 6, our friends from GC. GC again with the only hard cover. They're doing their very best to defend it. Everybody else is having to push forward, encountering each other time. Now, that phase of play has really thinned it out, so it's given these guys a bit more breathing room, but not much. We are, right now, phase number 6 is starting to push, and we will get our circle soon.
Yeah, look at that. We've got Team 12 overlooking Team 7 there.
And here we are with squad number 19, White Alive. They are going straight for this compound, squad number 6. In go the throwables.
This could be decisive here.
Here we are with flank up from GC again. There's only 2 of them. They're having to heavily defend this. His teammate has been knocked. He is on fire. Down goes the nade. First it up and getting very aggressively pushed. And you have to say a beautifully timed push by our friends from White Alive. What a great move from these guys. And they have now established themselves in a prime location right on edge of zone.
Yes, they have. Look at these two. Picker having to pick up his teammate here, but can't make it. He's knocked. I'm thirsted. And so we're down to, what, 4 teams, 9 alive.
There goes the vehicle. Our friend here, Pika, only surviving member of his team. He's not in circle. We have 30 seconds till this starts to push. And he has to move forward. We've got one from, I think, Bad Boys out there. And we've got our great friends. But, oh, that could make a difference. Doesn't quite get the knock.
Absolutely. But what a... I mean, he was almost better off letting let that guy kill his opposition there.
But we have to say, what a push from the guys from White Alive. But White Alive themselves coming under quite a lot of pressure at this moment in time. And there is only 2 of these guys. So you have to say GC, squad number 22. GC Faith Killer. They're the only guys up at the moment. And look at that kill total. 4 apiece for all of these players. 16 kills for this team. So a great push for White Alive. But they have the hard cover. GC have the numbers. And I think they knocked each other there. And I think that is it. I think the guys from GC took that one in the end. They had the numbers, superior firepower, and my word, what a game. That was absolutely exceptional end-to-end stuff from pretty much out of the plane. And you have to say, our friends there from GC, what a game indeed. They pick up 19 kills. That is absolutely incredible. 19 kills from GC. What a game in first place. In second place, we have the guys from White Alive with that great push in the penultimate phase of the game. They take second place with 3 kills. And in third place, we have our friends from Vic. Again, very, very good players involved in a lot of gunplay all the way through that game. Okay, so in the first 3 slots, our killer from GC, who, our second player from GC with 6 kills.
Player 2.
Player 2, unfortunately, my friend, with 6 kills. But let's look at it. I mean, those kills were shared between that team. Functioned obviously incredibly well as a team there, but that's our individual kill leader. We're looking at placement points through 4 through 7. Let's have a look. We have our friend Pink over here with 5 kills. We're going to scroll down now. Teams 8 through 11.
Scroll up slightly. Just get the player from Cherrick. Thank you, just for the results.
8 through 11 there. And nothing coming close to 6. We're going to leave just that last player from 11 just to make sure. There we go. So 12 through 15. And again, nothing approaching 6. And 16 through 19. Nothing there. And in 20, the guys from EC. Okay, boys and girls, absolutely fantastic stuff. Game 1 on Erangel. Congratulations to the guys from GC. We're going to take a very, very short break. We will be back with you for a better post-match analysis and introduction into Game 2 in just a few moments. We will see you very soon. Bye for now. Okay, boys and girls, and we're back. And yeah, what a start. Game number 1 on Erringle, full of action. Well, there's just nothing more to say, really, is there? I mean, GC, what a performance, Jamie.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw several compound crashes that we thought would be decisive, and I genuinely thought they would be, because in a zone like that, having the hard cover, having that building can be all important. But then we saw that actually the numbers and good gunplay counted. The compound was crashed a couple of times, but it was the team coming down from the side of the hill, using the smokes, and just able to get their shots in. Unfortunately, the player that was on the roof, what they couldn't do, they couldn't dip down to heal up, because then they'd lose the advantage of having the players on the hillside. The time it would have taken would have meant the players would actually come down to the building.
Well, I must admit, I mean, big shout out to the guys from While Alive there. Very aggressive play, pushing into that compound on team number 6, which is another team from GC, actually. I mean, that was a great push, crash up there, established hard cover. I think there were only 2 players at that point. Yeah, I mean, they had shots at the guys from GC coming in. Obviously, the circle was pushing at that point. Numbers obviously counted, but ultimately, that's that is just magnificent individual squad play from the guys from GC there. I mean, everybody picking up at least 4 kills. I think there was one with 5, one with 6. Everybody picking up a number of kills shared between the squad. Obviously, great squad communication and fighting in that very open zone with only the one position of hard cover and coming through and prevailing, where we went from 45 players down to 15 in such a short amount of time. I mean, what a performance from these guys.
Absolutely. And what we saw is I don't think they even had a vehicle. They were on foot coming down that hill. They held the high ground. They used the trees. They used whatever they could. And then they saved their tacticals. They saved all the smokes until they needed them right for the last minute. And they smoked the hillside and they came down in numbers, so that they just overwhelmed the team in the building, or on top of the building even.
Yeah, that was just well. If that's game number 1, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of our games this evening, as generally we always do when we stream for Tip Top Esports. Don't tend to get too many very dull games with this bunch of boys and girls. Yeah, just fantastic stuff. Right, but Jamie, match number 2. We should be going in reasonably shortly, and yeah, we're on Miramar. And I don't think we've had I mean, sometimes Miramar can be a bit dull for me, but I can honestly say,
not to say boring, aren't you?
I am very much so. But no, I mean, well, you got to commentate as you see it, and thus far we've covered Tip Top Scrims for quite a while now, and we just don't get the quiet games on Miramar. They're always pretty exciting.
Absolutely, and it's similar with Erringle, and we certainly didn't see it in that last game. Is you can often get a bit of action to start with as people land in their compounds, then you get the looting and rotation phase, and that's where, especially given Miramar with the size of the map, sometimes it just goes a bit quiet because people are establishing position, they're looting, they've gone through that early stage where they've dominated a location, but we seem to have it that even in the rotation phase, the players seem to come together somehow, and they don't back away from the fight. They certainly don't go looking for early fights, but none of these teams, none of these players will back away from the fight if it's presented to them.
So here we are. Looks like we are in the lobby for our Miramar game. The clock is counting down. We seem to have phased in. So from the Vibes having a heart attack point of view, I think we're okay at the moment.
Oh, he's getting confident now.
Really shouldn't have said that.
We're on the plane. So we've got 19 teams, 75 players on the plane. La Cabrera to Impala.
So
most places.
Yeah, there's our flight line, Jeremy. It'll be interesting to see where people go.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere like Picardo is probably about the limit where they'd want to jump, but what we'll probably see is some teams rotating down to the southwest, getting vehicles, because I'd imagine there's some teams that just won't want to drop in that San Martin, Picardo, Junkyard, El Pozo areas.
For those wondering what the hell's going on in the small screen to the left, yeah, I had a slight drinks opening malfunction there, so we're fine, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you having issues there, are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just dealing with some, yeah.
Can I just say, I've actually glanced at the YouTube feed, and it is good to see you wearing the right uniform.
Oh well, yeah. Well, we're going to try and theme it all of our streams now for the events that we're covering. So the right background, the right intermission screens, things of that nature. Just polish it up.
And the perfect shirt.
And the perfect shirt.
So there we go. I mean, we've got no one going up to El Azahar junkyard area.
And we've got at least 3 squads here, probably going for that vehicle.
Yep. So there we go. Managing to avoid getting run over. But I think that the driver of that vehicle may have just been taken out by the guys from Team 8 here, from Keep.
No, I think it was one of the Keep guys that was actually taken out.
Oh, apologies.
So we're going to correct because the old kill feed's lighted up a bit. So
whoa, that is a Vikendi zone one.
Yeah,
very southerly zone.
And yeah, these guys don't disappoint, do they? What's wrong with you people? Talk your problems out. What's wrong with you?
No, don't talk it out. Violence, that's what we want. Plenty of it. So these guys, they've taken 2 kills already now, CM1.
Running around the place, shooting at each other. What do you think this is, esports? Okay,
so we're see some of the teams in the very far north, they might have a little difficulty rotating, but I'm sure they'll get vehicles. They should be okay to get into zone. It's how many teams they come up against on the way.
Here we are with our friends from squad number 24. Looks like they've got squad number 11 not too far away. And look at this conglomeration of players.
Yeah, whether some of them break away from any fights, whether they break away from looting and try and rotate further down into zone, because that is a very southerly zone that we've seen there. Like I said, it's more like one of the Vikendi zones, where half of it's water.
We got quite an interesting split going on from the guys from squad number 7, that's Vixard. But they've also got elements of GC.
Yeah, and they've got...
Cherricks are involved. Let's check out Nix.
So it's interesting to know whether these teams know how many different teams are there, actually, whether they think it's just one team or whether they know there are 2 different teams there.
So Nick's yeah, aware that you've got one of the GC players up in an elevated situation.
And that GC player is receiving shots as well.
Our friend Kado, I think. Kado, KD. Nesta coming in towards it. One Nix has now been knocked.
Yeah, so coming around, getting the high ground, trying to come in behind Vic. I think Vic may be well aware now.
Certainly aware of Nesta's location, I would say. These guys somewhat separated from the rest of the teams. Or the rest of their teams, sorry.
Cooking the nade. It's going to be...
Oh, and there's the knock. Good. Look at that. Beautiful. These guys separated somewhat, so obviously our friend Pika here doesn't know it, but could pretty much just stroll over there and take the thirst.
Yeah, obviously doesn't know just how many players there are. Doesn't know that Nesta is there on their own. Knocked, so yeah, in a bit of trouble there, Nesta. I don't think his teammates are going to be able to come and get him.
We're here at Pandawick. He's getting a quick look at one of the guys from squad number 14. Those are the guys from GCF.
So these guys just trying to do a bit of looting as well. Get pushed on by 2 teams. He said that it looks like 999 might be going to try and join in the fight up on the top of the hill.
So Vic are starting to come together now. They've got some vehicles. They've done some looting. This is always the priority, especially on a map like Miramar. You do need the vehicles. So these guys doing their best to do all of this whilst involved in a gunfight with some pretty aggressive teams, you have to say. So,
yeah, and I think Pico from Vic has just had his kill stolen. I think one of GC Team 14 may have actually stolen the Nesta kill.
And that's a shame because that was a great nade.
It was a perfect nade.
And there is a knock established on one of the players from Cherrick here. So you've got 2 players down. He's looking to reunite straight away, I would imagine, with his teammate. Get a little bit of cover.
Put a bit of distance between them and GC, actually. It's probably a good idea at this stage.
These guys still looting up at this moment in time. Established themselves a few kills already. The guys from Cherrick starting to come together and put a little bit of distance.
Yeah, so I think it looks like Team 14 and GC have got control here of Leonis here, the central bit at least. Everyone else has retreated away. They've got a couple of kills between them, but it's not worth taking on this fight now. They're better off looting up and getting away from there.
No, absolutely. And right, we've got players or teams from the north starting to rotate in. We've got some starting to come together. This northern edge zone, Jamie, I feel, is probably going to get quite busy. We're still only in the very early stages of the game, but yeah, what a zone shift.
Yeah, it's it's like a Vikendi zone shift, but on the open expanse of Miramar. So there's plenty of room for everyone on this map, but it's still an unusually hard shift. Normally you get a much softer shift on Miramar.
So we've got red zone coming in, and we're getting straight into some action here with our winners of game number 1, and they're continuing in the same vein. But wow, they've had 2 of their team killed.
Yeah, so not going all their own way. Only 1 team kill so far, and 2 players taken down.
So we're here with one of the teams from RS, that's RS2, I believe. So yeah, our winners of game number 1, not getting it all their own way in the early phases of match number 2 on Miramar. And Jamie, I think these guys are out of it. They're rotating away from this one.
Yeah, obviously taking a pragmatic approach. They're not going to take on or carry on a fight and potentially lose more position points.
For those of you who don't know what Jamie was saying there, he's got his word of the day toilet paper out again. Pragmatic, really, dude?
Well, sometimes it's better to retreat now and then fight on it again at a later time. A tactical retreat.
Word of the day, toilet paper, mate. That's what that is. So we're here with our friends from Eslop Gaming, ECT. Not too far away from our friends from Morningstar. We did cover them a little bit in game number 1. But these guys pretty much looking to loot, come together. I don't think anybody's looking to pursue contact at this minute in time. We're going to have...
But they're set to zone, so that's a really important where they are, because also they had 1 player up on the top of that high ground, on top of the apartment block there.
Here we are with our friends from GC, another team from GC, not our winners of game number 1. This is Chili Oil, and they're getting into it with squad number 20, that's RS2.
So just checking where his teammates are, and then, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually made the mistake where I'm checking where my teammates are and open fire at them. Yeah, that's good. that's because I'm just too trigger happy.
There we go. Very, very open there from Chips. But some good weaving around.
Chips getting very inside the building there. Chili Oil here obviously revealed his location.
So So they've got 2 players left up on the high ground. I wonder if these guys are going to go for another push. We saw them in game 1 when they're in Rozhok. They had 1 player back, just putting in the fire, and as soon as they established the knock, they swarmed in on the team.
So there's our next circle, Jammy. We've got a hard shift again. That's going down to the southeast, around the Puerto area. Los Leones still slightly part of it at this moment in time.
Yes, we've got teams 17 and 12 down in the very southeast getting involved together. So we've got SD finish and RS0. But they've got a great position here. There's only 2 teams here. No one else really around them. But looking at where the zone's heading, this could be prime location.
So these guys, again, this is what we have found. We do tend to get quite exciting games on Miramar, but you sort of get the initial excitement after the drop, and then it sort of quiets down for about phase 2, phase 3 of the game, and then it all goes mental.
Yeah, so these guys, yeah, they're rotating. I mean, we've still got teams. You've got Team 19 there, while alive, rotating in from the northeast, coming down the eastern road. Team 18, Team 13, D-Force and Morningstar coming in from the northwest. They've got a long way to go. Team 5, CM1 making their way along the very southern road from the west there.
Again, a little congested in this central part of the...
Yeah. So I think we've got our regular occurrence. It didn't happen in game 1, but it is a regular thing that happens. Is because of the emulator, we get a bit of game freeze, which we love.
Yeah, Vimes especially, he loves it.
He does. He does. So I'm sure it'll be back in a minute.
Come on.
Won't be long, but yeah, we've seen some very good action. I mean, the only thing is at the moment we're in that rotation phase. So CX Daddy see on the screen there that took down D-Force Mason. These guys coming back together in Los Leones after the 2 guys, Nix and Kano from Cherik, actually retreated away, and then they've come back together. It'd be interesting to see if we get a Los Leones type finish. The way the zone's going at the moment, it looks like we're more likely to have a coastal finish, something you don't see very often on Miramar. Just adds an extra bit of chaos to the game. And obviously, if you do get the coastal finish, it takes out some of the usable space as well. Here we go.
Come on, come on, come on.
Come on, you can do it.
Come on, render in.
He's trying. Here we go. So we're with someone in a vehicle by the looks of it. We've lost not too many. We've still got 18 teams alive, actually. 57 players still. At this relatively late stage, I mean, we're towards the end of phase 2. So GC here, overlooking Team 15. Who are the bad boy team.
Yeah, we're getting in. We're with Bad Boys and GC here.
That's a great position in those buildings as well. It's not an easy one to rush if they do try and breach the compound or breach the building, because it is so high. Putting out the suppressed. I think that's a suppressed Mini 14 there.
Yeah.
Lovely weapon. Pumping out those shots.
Thought it was a bit too close for you, Jammy. Mini 14. A bit too, you know, a bit too close to the action with that one.
Absolutely.
Jammy prefers to do his fighting with a stealth bomber.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Put me in a bunker somewhere with a screen in front of me. That's much more like it.
Yeah.
Not the blood and thunder like you.
Yeah. Jammy likes drone strikes. He's shooting targets on Sarnok when we're still on Vikendi.
Yep, absolutely. and you're there beating down their door with your bare fists.
I'm already dead by getting thrown out the plane, mate. Yeah, on Erringle.
So it's interesting to see here that Bad Boys, they've taken two to build a building, but Flanker there with the knock.
Flanker there getting the knock with the Kar 98.
Probably overall, I'd say maybe one of my favourite weapons, the Kar 98. I know there are better snipers in terms of damage and everything, but it's just something, I just love the feel of it, the noise.
Oh, he's getting all aesthetic now.
Oh,
And Flanker has been knocked. One poke far too many. That does tend to happen with your sniper happy people.
So we go, are they going to go round, try and get a different angle? There is another team just not far away. I think it's team 14 there. The GCF Killers 2.
Okay, let's have a look at our general situation. We are 55 players left alive.
So 19 here. They've lost a player, but they've still got 3 up. 2 of them in vehicles. It looks like...
Looking to rotate away from this one, though.
Yeah.
And 19 have got quite a split going on. 24 also coming into this stage of the game, this phase of the circle.
And you can see CM1 Team 5 down in the south there. They actually came in on the southern road from the far west side. They were in Valdemar. And they've come in and they've established themselves along that hillside there. A good position, not quite centre zone, but it's quite a good tactical position.
So we're here with squad number 6. That's our friends from GC, and they're getting into it with squad number 15. I think that's Bad Boys, yeah. 14, not too far away. 23 also on the outskirts of this fight. That's DG, Difficult General. Oh, yeah, and Flanker copping a little bit of a shot there.
So in a difficult position there between the two teams. They were in quite a good position just overlooking Team 15, but now they've got someone else involved. Just makes it that little bit harder for them. Excuse me, I just need to take a quick drink.
Jamie needs to take his medicine and a Werther's original. That happens when you reach his tender age.
I just need to take a big slug of medicine because my throat's getting dry. Oh, sorry. I thought I'd do it now before it all goes a bit
Pete Tom.
Crazy. Yep, absolutely. So we see now that Bad Boys have actually spread out. They've got 2 players to the left, and they've got one in the high ground and one in the other building. Probably loosening up, just making sure they've got everything they can. They're covering all the angles. They are pretty much centre zone. So if the zones keep shifting the way they have been, this could be really, really important location for them.
And our friends from squad number 23, this is DJ, looking to consolidate in position. Looks like there's like Unix there, looking to potentially take a bit of high ground. DG got a little bit of a split going on. There's our next circle, Jamie.
Wow.
That is a hard shift away from the town of Los Leones. So
yeah, we've seen. Yeah, I mean, Miramar, not only known for its brutal shifts, we've seen some really southerly shifts here. And even in the southerly zone that we're in.
And we're here with Transjin, and Tianjin has been taken out. That's our friends from Bigzard. Again, these guys well out of circle, though, so they're going to have to start a move.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, you can still got Queen Yan from Team 22 at GC up in the far north. We've got the players from Team 11 in the west. We've got a clash up in the north of the zone there. 23 and 14 getting involved together as they try and make their rotation. But it looks like 23 have come out on top, I believe.
So they picked up 4 kills, these guys now. We've got Revolt in the chat, so somebody say hello. These guys just outside the circle, however.
Yeah, so they were holding a good position, but then they've started their rotation. They've managed to take down, I think it was Team 14. As they did that. But Team 10 here, holding the north of the zone. They can do a bit of gatekeeping now.
And here we are with ECT Baldy Top, a player named after myself.
Well, I think we both qualify for that one. Here come Team 23 coming in from the north side, though. Coming out of the blue. These guys will have seen them.
So plenty of rounds going into 23. That's DG. They're looking for a rotation coming in.
Yeah, 23 managing to avoid them a bit, but they won't be able to avoid them completely.
But we are phase 5 of the game and not necessarily right on the edge of the blue with only a minute left to go. Great vehicle blow there, but these guys are fighting in pretty much not where you want to be fighting or starting a fight in phase 5 of the game.
No, absolutely. These guys need to be rotating away if possible, but they don't want to move away from a fight. They don't want to just turn their back on Team 23. They have got the knock on one of them, or two of them now, I think, are knocked.
So they've got to end this fight and look to their rotation, so this needs to be done quickly, I feel.
Yeah, this is where you need a strong in-game leader who can actually make that decision. And it's not an easy one to break away from a fight. I'm wondering if they're doing it, or are they going to go for the push to finish it off?
It is literally push and finish or rotate away. This is that's pretty much the call that's got to be made at this point.
We've seen it so many times. It's a zero-sum game. Basically, neither team gets out of it if they're fighting when the blue comes, especially in these late stages.
Plenty of nades going out. ECT, you have to say, have the advantages here, but they're trying to do it, and they've got guys from squad number 11 not too far away. So, this is going to be an interesting one. We've got more action.
Have to make their way in soon. I think what they need to do now is get one of their players to go into zone. Leave the other three with this fight, but make sure at least one of their players can get into zone, or at least near to it. Right,
we're going to have to break off from that and drop to the south because we've got at least 3 teams trying to hit edge of circle coming into the south, just to the southeast actually. So it's all going to be action. We're now 28 players left alive, 11 teams still contesting. We're phase 5 of the game and the Blues start to push.
Yeah, and it's going to hurt now. As soon as these guys get tagged by the blue, it's just going to hurt so much. CX taking down CX there. Good bit of clan-on-clan action, which we always love. No holding back with these guys.
And we're getting to the stage now where so many people and so many teams are starting to come together. This part of the zone is getting very fiercely contested. Guys who are still up to the north also coming under it. And looks like CN1 are starting to push very aggressively.
Yeah, they've got to push now because they're out of zone. They can't just turn their back on this fight. They're going to have to make sure they clear this up and get in.
We're here with the sole surviving member of our friends from squad number 7, Vic, and rough situation. Gets a kill though, but ultimately taken out by Zay there from CN1. Great work. And we're down to
CM1 because they only had to clear one of the 2 players that were stopping them from getting into zone.
So here's our situation. CM1 looking like they're in a strong situation at the moment team-wise. They are controlling ground very, very well, but they know they've got the guys from squad number 13 just off to their left flank. They've also got squad number 21 just off to their right. A crate comes down right in the centre of everything. Can't imagine anybody's going to be going for that. And our friends from ECT, Baldy Top and those pals, obviously got out of their fight and managed to rotate. But this is the problem when you rotate late like this. You are now fighting edge of zone.
Yeah, fighting edge of zone and also a smaller zone. So the players are condensed. So you've gone from 1 fight into probably 3 fights.
And in fact, these guys, as only my namesake Baldy Top, who is up at the moment doing his best to revive his teammates, but these guys really coming under pressure now. Looks like one of their players is going to bleed out.
Yeah, and his teammates have actually dropped all the meds for him. So just to make sure one of them can last a little bit longer because the others just aren't going to last.
And I have to say, I mean, these guys have managed to find themselves edge of circle, and I'm loving CN1's position here.
Absolutely, but look where the zone is.
Look at the next circle.
Prime position.
Oh my word, next circle is broken, and that was absolutely brutal for squad 5, squad 13. Squad number 8 now in the prime location, so you have to say, if CM1 want to contest this, they have to clear their left flank. They absolutely have to take these guys out.
Yeah, they've got less than a minute. They've got to do this so that they can then rotate relatively safely and take from Team 8.
Also, some third white party work coming in from the guys from squad number 8, and that is our friend taken out, and that is that squad done. So CN1 do have to now move forward to engage squad number 8. That's key.
Yeah, I think Baldy Top's out in the blue, just doing a heel off. He's got a pile of first aids. In fact, no, I think he's just gone to the zone. So we're down to our 2 teams now.
CM1 tough rotation coming in and getting some rounds in, but also that is a player from Keep. Knocked, and in fact, we are here with Doxan, who is the only member of his team up and getting pushed very aggressively from the 4 players from Tip Top here. And look at this flanking maneuver, Jamie. This is going to get ugly.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got CM1 from either side here.
And that's it. So great work from our friends from CM1 Tip Top there, taking the win in game number 2. And yeah, you have to say that was great zone control. As soon as that circle didn't work for them, thank you for that. As soon as that circle didn't work for them, they knew they had to clear their left flank. That was the guys from CX, I believe. So they cleared that left flank, pushed aggressively into the boys and girls from Keep, and took the chicken dinner there. So yes, we have Tip Top in first place. They take first place with 6-10 kills. In second place we have Keep, 7 kills, and in third place we have our friends from ECT with 2 kills. Our individual kill leader is I'm going to say Shy Baby with 4, also shared with Shark for You with 4 in the top 3. We're just going to look at the rest of the results here. Just looking down, there's nothing that gets to 4, so that's positions through 7. Here we are 8 through 11, and there we are 999 with 5 from Vic, playing really well, those guys, this evening. Nothing else, so that's 999 who's the individual top fragger at this moment. We're going to do, let's have a look, 12 through 15. Nothing there for the time being, so 999 still leading, and 16 through 19. Nope, looks like 999 from Vic takes top fragger, but fantastic work from the guys from CN1 Tip Top there, taking the win in game number 2 in their own hosted scrim. Always good to see that. We're going to take a very, very short break, boys and girls, and we will be back with you very, very shortly. Bye for now. Okay, here we are with game number 3. Sorry for the delay there, and we didn't do the post match there. There was just something I needed to clear up. But yep, so fantastic action, games 1 and 2. Here we are, game number 3. One of my favourite maps, as you know, Jammy. And yep, we're on Vikendi.
Yeah, I know you love Vikendi. I do love Vikendi. It's got such a mix of everything. It's the terrain, the compounds, crazy places like Cosmodrome. It's a great map to play, but also from a casting point of view, you often get a crazy first zone as well. Be interesting to see what the flight line is, because that makes a big difference on Vikendi. Looks like we're following the river, roughly?
Yep, so we're pretty much following the line down river. So you can certainly hit Villa from there. You can Castle is available as a hot drop, as a fast drop. Sorry, as is Hot Springs Cantra. And yeah, well, any of these guys, they're not messing about too much, are they? So I expect we'll get plenty of action in game 3, as we have had in games 1 and 2.
Absolutely, and we've got 3-4 teams heading out quick drop to the east. We've got about the same heading quick drop to the west. Everyone's spreading out. Yeah, we've got a lot of people around the sort of Trevno, Peshkova area. And then, yeah, I think it's only one team, Team 5, CM1 at Cosmodrome, couple over Sababa, couple in Coal Mine. That's what we like to see. There's not many that are on their own. Looks like Team 6 heading to Villa on their own.
So here we are with our friends from squad number 22. Now, these were the guys who were winners of game number 1, as I recall, with a fantastic kill tally. And they're not too far from one of the teams from RS.
No, RS2 here. And the other RS team's getting into a Cherrick by the looks of it. Nick's been taken down.
There's our first zone, Sammy. Pretty benign, actually, for Vikendi.
Yeah, very unusual. We had a brutal first zone in Miramar. So maybe we're going to get a slightly more gentle couple of zones. But then I'm sure we'll have some hard zone shifts as well as we get later into the phases. So these guys just... yeah, just feeling each other out. Just looting up where they can. Team 18 nicely down at Winery in the south. Team 24 at Volnova. Team 8 beautifully spread out around sort of the hot springs. Right on the edge of the zone. So no one's going to have a hard rotation apart from maybe Team 16, Team 12. They're not far from zone, but they've got a couple of teams in the way.
There's a couple of teams not who are pretty close to each other, so we're gonna hopefully get some early action. Always difficult to make your pick as to which one you're going to cover.
Yeah, we've seen both of these teams. They won't shy away from a fight, but they might be, and I'm going to use that word, given how early in the game it is, a little bit pragmatic. Make sure they're a bit more looted up, because you don't want to go into a fight against the winners of Game 1, for example, without even a helmet. So they're just going to establish their positions and then maybe go at it if they feel they're ready for it.
Yep. Don't worry, boys and girls. He's going to have a new word for the next stream. He'll have used up another piece of toilet paper by then, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, that's P word, so now I'll be up to the Q words for next time.
Absolutely. He's going to come up with quintessential next. I've robbed him of that one.
Well, that's that one gone. Then I'm going to go back to my dictionary.
As always, boys and girls, when we have a lull between the fight, you get me and Jamster the hamster over there having a bit of banter. That is what we do.
We haven't produced any merch yet, but I can see a Jamster the hamster T-shirt in the presses now.
I want a mug. Yeah, I want a mug to have my coffee from.
So I've also got Team 21 overlooking. Now these guys are retreating away now. They're moving further back past the port area.
So let's have a look. We did have a bit of contact between 16 and 12. Looks like they've actually had pretty much the same idea. They've slightly moved away from each other.
On the eastern side, you've got 7, 10, 21, Viscard, Eclot Gaming, and Roxfort all getting into it over on the eastern side.
Let's have a look at these guys. And we're here with my friend and namesake.
I mean, there's another mug.
Oh, no, nobody wants to drink from that, buddy.
Right, I'm back. Sorry. I think that might be the first time you've corpsed me.
And there we go. So our guys from Vic are going through fast rotation, but Pandawick has been knocked.
Baldy Top's also been knocked in return, though. And GC are getting into it with RS as well. Oh, sorry, you absolutely slayed me. Wow.
I did like the standing up position and firing. That was pretty cool. You sort of thing you see in a Schwarzenegger movie is that. One-handed with the Uzi. I'm sure it was all just graphic glitch, but it did look very cool. And
here we go with the hard
and these guys go with the hard push, and there we go. Yeah, great work from Scalex there. And look at that. Great work from squad number 10 from ECT. They take 4 kills, and that is a big team taken out early on in game number 3, Jamie.
Absolutely, and it's not just that. I mean, they had to go some distance for that push. It's not like they were crashing a compound. That was across open area, but they'd established the knock. They knew they'd get in the revive on. They had the advantage, and they went for it. That was aggressive.
So we're here with SD, G36, Spray, onto the guys from squad number 12, and that is a knock on one of the guys from RS.
Yeah, that's a great knock as well, because it's in the open there, so it's going to be difficult for them to get the revive on. Smoke's come out, but trying to get the different angle. Trees are in the way, unfortunately. So I'd imagine they'll lay some rounds just straight into the smoke. So I think they know that the player's already in there now.
Here with Chen Ji, looking to get the res on.
So yeah, managing to revive his teammate there. Smoke did its job, but they're under a lot of pressure from the high ground.
And we've got a flanking manoeuvre also coming from one of these guys from SD. Squad number 17. SD finish.
That's good work. They are nicely spread out, Team 17. They've got 2 up on the high ground, or 3 on the high ground, 1 up close for the push as well. Team 12 have got they've got a player up on the right hand side of the player we're watching for now, and I don't think they've noticed. So if that player from Team 12, who's slightly to the north, can get sight of this player here behind the rock, but no, making a move.
And our friend here taking some rounds, looking to rotate, potentially get a high look on this, but took some rounds for it. Not too damaging at the moment, but it does look like the guys from 17 potentially looking to break away, but they've taken a casualty.
Yeah, that's slightly surprising, actually. I thought they had the upper hand as well as the upper ground. But Ski's there, getting knocked. So I'm wondering if these guys are going to be able to get to him safely.
Well, he's got cover from his teammate, but RST 20k there. RS, sorry, 20k. Certainly having a quick look at this one.
Yep. And Ski's there has been, the kill's been confirmed. Now, in a way, that almost does these guys a favour. Because they're not having to worry about him and risk going to the revive. No. They can actually make their retreat.
Yeah, these guys are on their toes. They're out of it.
In fact, not even a retreat. They're actually making their way into zone. They might be able to gatekeep and hold Team 12 up from getting into zone.
Yeah, be an interesting one. 12, I'd imagine, would read that play. So probably going to be looking to rotate into circle unless they fancy pushing the fight. They've managed to establish a knock on one of them. So we're here with squad number 6. This is GC again. All over the place tonight, GC.
Yeah, they've no kills as yet, but they're in a great position in zone. So we're overlooking Team 21, Roxford. We haven't seen them much in the last couple of games, but they've got a nice position by the waterside, nice compound. They've got a crate not far away from them, but I doubt they'll be going for that. It's pretty open. I think it might even be in the water by the looks of it. So, yeah, and keep taking down D-Force Mason. Zone here, not too brutal. It's just a fairly central zone around sort of Castle to Podvosto area. But we do still have the river in play, and that can cause a bit of chaos.
So we're here with Delta Force. Delta Force coming under some pressure here. They've got guys squad number 10 and the guys squad number 8, all of whom contested late game. In fact, all of these teams have contested late game at various points this evening. But you have to say squad number 10 seem to have the upper hand here. But that's a beautiful knock established. More nades going in, so that was some great work being done there.
Yeah, Team 10 managed to get the door shut, but the first nade blew the door, and the second nade blew Eamon, I think his name is. That was a great nade.
But Shane has been very badly managed to get some meds in now. Mentalis has gone across to his teammate just to cover, but you got to say these guys are going to get pushed. These guys are going to get very aggressively pushed, I'd imagine.
Absolutely, but their only saving grace might be Team 8 are coming in for the third party, so if these guys can hold on... Team 8 might almost come to their rescue if they can put some pressure onto Team 10 and let these guys maybe even rotate away, but maybe not. I think Team 8 know these guys are in here, so they're not going to have it all their own way, and I don't think maybe Team 8 aren't going to be their saviours after all. Oh, that didn't sound good. Oh no, it's just a stun grenade.
Just a thunder flash.
Yeah. That is a horrible thing to hear if you're on the defensive in a building like that. The door's been blown. You've got two teams either side, and then you hear a nade landing next to your feet. Horrible feeling.
So, yeah, after the initial excitement, these guys are taking a little bit now. We've got Sharp for you. They're doing a bit of forward observation work for the rest of Team 8.
Yeah, but they're all lined up along this hillside, just waiting for someone to peek, just waiting to pounce. So they don't care which team they kill. They're just itching to get some of them.
We got elements of team number 5 not too far away from this one either. That's the helmet gone.
Now that was Keep. So, Team 8 was... taking them down from Team 10. And they're going on the push.
Looks like here come the nades.
Team 18 are there.
I think that one might be... Well, there are plenty of nades going out.
They're running past Team 18. They're going straight to the ones they've knocked.
Looks like... And straight through the window. And that is going to be Delta Force pretty much dealt with. But it looks like they're doing some great work. But ultimately, team number 8 take him out there whilst actually pushing on team number 10. So, opportune flanking manoeuvre. And our friend Doc's on here. He's not wasting any time. He's still going forward in team 10.
Absolutely. 6 kills for the team now. 3 individually for Doxan. So, Boldy Top there's... he needs to heal a bit if he can, but I don't think he's going to be given a lot of time as Too Shark for you is coming on the wide push.
Yeah, and you have to say, what a fantastic push from our friends from Keep It there. Really doing the business. Absolute great flanking play. With 2 squads wiped. What a fantastic push from our friends from squad number 8 there. Now, all of this has been overlooked by CN1. I wouldn't keep jumping over that wall, pal. He's got an M24 pointed at you.
CN1, unusually at this stage of the game, what are we, halfway through phase 3? They haven't got any kills. They've got a brilliant position there, just by the river. But there are no kills yet. And look, there's only, what, 2 teams really in the eastern side.
And
Team looks like they're heading into Castle.
And this is always the kind of zone I like on Vikendi, Jamie, because you've got the river still in play. You need to pick your spot strategically so you can rotate. And you have to say CN1 doing that perfectly here, because that is the narrow part of the river. If they have to get to the other side of the bank, they can do it. I imagine that's why they're playing it pretty safe.
Absolutely. They've got the narrow river. They've got the bridge. They can see a lot of zone from where they are as well. Shy baby there. I bet they're dying to just hovering on the trigger. And suppressed as well.
Jamie literally had, like, sniper rifle envy there. It was,
absolutely. And it's, and with the suppressor as well, that is just too good.
That took, I think that was probably a limb shot, judging by the damage, but he's certainly sticking it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys, I mean, they'll know roughly where it's coming from now. But this is quite a long range. I'm guessing this is, what, 200, 250 metres? But now
they know they've
shots come in. They know there's someone here now.
This is interesting from the guys from squad. I mean, they know they've got suppressed M24 fire coming at them. A couple of players have been hit. Squad number 8, sorry. These guys obviously they're not in any particular rush to rotate at this moment in time, and they have found themselves with a new circle slightly on the edge of zone. This is not a good time to be poking windows, because you have to say CN1 taking great position here. Now we're going to go up to the north. We've got 17 SD, not too far away from our friends in squad number 22, our winners of game number 1. And these guys are right on the edge of the blue.
And look at that, 22 GC up on the hillside, looking down. They've got a brilliant angle there.
And certainly putting in the damage. And that's one of them gone. GC themselves have only got 2 guns in this fight, but they're gatekeeping this beautifully.
Yep, 9 seconds to go, but they're 330 metres from zone themselves. So they can gatekeep well, but they've got to keep in mind they've got to get back to safety as well.
So we're phase 4 of the game, so these guys can afford to wait a little bit, but not too long. And oh, what a beautiful spray with the M4 from Cold there.
Yeah, that is a brilliant spray, and there's no way his teammate's going to be able to get to him, especially in the blue. The Vikendi blue does hurt, so I think this player here is going to have to just make his way, just do whatever he can just to get to zone. If I were GC, I'd be leaving this fight and actually gatekeeping the northern edge of the zone once you get there if you can. But look at that, GC right in centre zone, team 6. 23 to their northwest, RXT to their southeast.
We're going to check out our friends from Cherix. They've got our friends from squad number 25. That's an RS0 squad. They're coming in. We've also got elements of squad number 23 from DG, not too far away from this fight. And I noticed that CN1 Tip Top are winners of game number 2. Oh, and our friend gets knocked there.
Yeah, so Joe taking some hours, putting plenty of damage in, but then taking the knock.
But yeah, our friends from CN1, they're still holding that prime location just to the north of Podvosto.
So next zone breaks.
So Nesta here doing the business, getting the revive on his teammate. He's got 2 teammates just outside of circle. These guys are not getting it their own way. They're still coming under pressure here.
Team 12, nice and wide here. I mean, what they're doing is gatekeeping these guys, just stopping them from getting into zone easily.
Here with Susan Knight. Let's check out. So this is LT20K.
Oh, God, that nade nearly took down the 2 players.
Let's have a look, see if this one manages it. Boom!
Only takes down 1, though.
And follows that up with the spray, and this could very well be it. That's 2 players knocked by our friend LT20K here. Fantastic work. Getting some fire, though, from the player coming in, and he has now been knocked. Potentially went a little bit too thirsty for the thirst there. But yeah, you have to say that was great work. And Cherrick's really coming under some pressure here from the guys from RS.
And taken out by Shenji there from RS. That was some great flanking work coming around on the different angle. But these are taking fire from, I'm assuming it's 23 or 11.
Yeah, and he's doing his very best to get to his teammates, but under a huge amount of pressure here.
Yeah, there's rounds coming in from all over the place, but they are in zone. That's the important thing.
So these guys need to get the res on, pop smoke, give themselves a breather. Don't get too many chances at this level, not at this stage of the game.
Absolutely not, no. So yeah, get some meds in and just hold your position. Re-establish, just loot what you need to, and then be careful and stay in a bit of cover if you can, because these guys are covering. But also to their west, you've got Team 11. And look at the mini-map. The guys from Team 11 are staring straight at Team 23.
Yeah.
They know exactly where they are. They've just got the little lump in the ground between them.
And the guys from 23, gatekeeping the hell out of squad number 12. So everybody's looking to get involved. And there is our next circle shift, Jamie. And all of these guys are out. And that was instantly break contact and move.
Yeah, look at that. Team 6, Team 5, probably in the key positions.
And there we go. There's the flanking fire coming in.
So a couple of nades just to disrupt the push. That's good work, that is. They don't need the smokes because they're actually behind. They've got a little bit of natural cover. But it was just to stop Team 11 from pushing too quickly.
And it looks like 11 are attempting the rotation. They know they've got a long way. We're in phase 6 of the game, and all of these teams are outside of circle at this moment in time. And this could be very expensive from all of these teams here, Jerry.
Yeah, we've still got 10 teams, but that could be wiped out very quickly. These guys are all playing around, arguing, but they're outside zone. And as you say, it could prove very expensive for them. Because even if they do win the fight here, they're still, what, 200-300 metres from zone.
We've got elements of 23, 6, 13, and these guys are all fighting outside the zone with the Blues starting to push in phase 6 of the game. We're down to 24 players left alive, 10 teams.
Yeah, this is where we're going to see if players can make the rotation, if they've got the smokes to make their way in safely. We've got teams that are in zone fighting each other. We've still got 10 teams going at the moment. Team 21 nicely in zone. Team 5, brilliant position here with the hard cover. We've seen that before from CM1. They do control the zone well.
Yeah, they picked their time absolutely beautifully there. They were holding on to that position on the bridge at Podvasto for a reason, and this was the reason.
Here we go, getting the knocks out on Keep. So we're now down to 9 teams. Silence taking someone down with a nade there.
And I noticed we're starting to lose some players to the play zone as well. I rather suspect that was the fight we were covering a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I think we're going to drop by a couple of teams fairly quickly as those guys take each other out on the way into zone.
We're here with one of our friends from While Alive. Great push in game number 1, I think it was. But certainly under the pressure now. Our friend Ricky Z here, he's certainly coming under some pressure outside of zone. CN1 gatekeeping the hell out of this one. CN1 themselves, though, do still have to do a little bit of rotation with parts of their squad.
What they've done, they've made sure that one of their players is in zone so that he can gatekeep the rest coming in. So he can almost lay down cover and fire. He can just shoot through his teammates into the other team. It doesn't matter. Just make it difficult for everyone else.
Yeah, and these guys actually can move forward pretty easily, building the building anytime they please. So you have to say the guys from CM1 here look to be doing what they do, actually, controlling ground and zone very well. We're in phase 7, 20 players left alive. 9 teams still contesting.
Look where DG are, Team 23. I think they're pretty much centre zone, aren't they? But between them and CM1, Team 5, it's very open. That's going to be centre zone. There's just nothing there. Everyone's going to be holding edge of zone for as long as they can, using that tiny bit of cover that they've got.
And this is going to get very, very insane very quickly.
Yeah, so 9 teams, 20 players, but this is going to go down very quickly as they start to converge, especially you look at Team 6, Team 21, up there at the top of our picture. Then we've got Team 12, 23 and 22 to the right of the picture.
And we got CN1 getting some necks on our RXT. DG also putting some knocks down. It looks like 23 and 12 going into it. It looks like 12 have prevailed now. CN1 can still controlling this absolutely beautifully, but they are taking some damage, so they've got to move in now. Getting flanking fire from GC.
So we've got the two GC teams. Actually, no, we've got RS up in the top team 12. They've taken them out, so we're down to 6 teams now. And there's a great centre zone if everyone really desperately wants that one.
And that's Z putting the knock on Cold there. Also looking to cover the other flag. Putting rounds in towards another GC player from squad number 22 on winners of game 1. They're still holding this building right on the edge of the zone. We are phase 8 of the game.
These guys, they do have the zone as well. So they've got pretty much the only hard cover. Everyone else is just going to have to walk in front of their building virtually.
We are phase 8 of the game. We are still 11 players left alive. And this is going to be, you're almost at the point where you can't cover an individual player. You're going to miss it all. This could come down to a run into the centre of the circle here, right towards that crate.
Yeah. I think, what we're going to have soon is, I mean, look at that down to the left. You've got the last remaining player from Team 21. We're down to our final 3 teams, actually. We've got CN1.
Aries taking a lot of damage there. Aries taking a lot of damage. RS look like they've got a good location, but in fact, they are out of zone, and this is going to start pushing on them. Blue is starting to push. These guys have got to come forward.
So this is going to go down to gunplay now.
Now, these guys have gatekeeping the hell out of it. CN1 rotated in absolutely perfectly. They are controlling this circle. And our friends here, they have to push. They absolutely have to push the CN1 on gatekeeping the hell out of this.
Down to 2 teams now. RS just taken the last remaining player from Roxford. But what we've got now is everyone's spread out. It's just a 4. Is it a 4 or 4? No, a 3-on-3, I think now.
We've got Silence knocked and taken out. So it's a 2-on-2. So we're here with Aries. We're here with Aries, and Aries gets the kill shot. 1 nade, and then Aries with the kill shot takes it for CN1, and they take their 2nd win of the night in game number 3 on Vikendi. That was some insane stuff in the final phases of play there. But excuse me, that was that was some pretty exciting stuff. Okay, our winners of game number 3. That's Tip Top CN1. Our winners of game 2 as well. They take the win with 9 kills, 5 for Aries. In 2nd place, we have the guys from RS. Fantastic night for these game for these guys. 11 kills for them. And in 3rd place, we have the guys from RXT, and they take it with 6. Our top fragger in squads 1 through 3 is Aries, getting the final kill shot there with 5. We're just going to have a look at the rest of the score sheets for you. Looks like we've got Queen Jan with 5 also from GC. So we're just going to quickly move down there. Yep, that's places 4 through 7. Here we are with 8 through 11. A few people there with 4, but nobody matching Aries with 5. And we're here 12 through 15. And again, nobody managing to contest the top fragger there from those teams.
Okay.
And 16 through 19, and again, pretty Spartan at the bottom there. Nobody contesting that one. So it looks like Aries, you've got the final kill shot in game number 3, taking the win for Tip Top. Also our top fragger in game number 3. We're going to take a very, very short break, boys and girls, and we will be back with a bit of post-match and introduction into our final game of this evening, which will be on Sarlocke. We will see you very, very soon. Bye for now. Okay, boys and girls, not too far from our final match of this evening when we're going to be on Sarnock. But yeah, I have to say, Jamie, the guys from Tip Top there, that zone control in that final phase of playing, they really didn't give anybody any room to move, did they?
Absolutely not. And I commented on the YouTube stream as well. It was just great zone control. It really was. And in the end, we came down to a 4-on-4, a 3-on-3, a 2-on-2, and in the end, the gunplay won out. But it was just what a finish!
Was indeed. I mean, it was. We sometimes find that on Vikendi. Actually, you get those finishes where you can't really. You almost can't focus on a player. I was pleased to jump onto Aries there and get the kill shot, but sometimes it's just so difficult to actually pick who to follow. You end up just taking the wide view and see what happens. That was some fantastic work.
It really was. It really was. It was just, it was. We've had some pretty breathless games here, especially the finishes. And that one there, we're seeing one. They were holding the compound. They're holding the buildings as long as they could. They made sure they took full advantage. They had a slight advantage with those buildings because of the way the zone was. And they made sure they took full advantage of the slight advantage it gave them, because in the end they had to retreat away. Well, not retreat. They had to leave the building to go into open zone.
Yep. So we've had 3 fantastic games for Tip Top EU tier scrims in tier 1. I'm expecting very much the same on my favourite map to cover on Sarnock. And yeah, I mean, we had just a wonderful game from our friends from GC, game number 1. Great games, especially late zone control from Tip Top in games 2 and 3. Let's see who's going to feature in game number 4. It's all to play for if you want the placement points, boys and girls. And yeah, I just love covering Sarnock. I just love it.
It's your favourite. It's all close-up, sweaty action. There's no 300-metre sniping action, or very rarely. You do get a bit from the hillsides down onto places like boot camp sometimes, a bit of third-partying. But on the whole, it's sweaty, close-on. Yeah, just action all the way, really. Much
like my good self, Jamster the Hamster. Our range of merchandise will be available on the YouTube channel. That one's not going away. I'm joking, by the way. With that one.
I don't know. I think that could be the thing that could be what tips us over the edge and turns us into millionaires.
I somewhat doubt that, my buddy, but hey, that hope springs eternal. Okay, we're on the plane, so let's have a look. And looks like we've got an interesting flight line well to the north, overflying straight over Paradise. And yep, Northwest Island certainly going to be in contention here. Long drop for Painan, and Painan tends to be popular on a drop here, so it's going to be interesting to see where people go.
Yeah, I want to see teams risking it and going to the Northwest Island. I love it when teams do that. Camp out for a heart in. But also the compound just to the east of the northern bridge there. It just overlooks so much.
The only reason you like it when they go there is because there are sniper positions on top of them mountains. It's the only reason you like the Northwest Island.
I do like it because there's the jeopardy of where the zone's going to go. Because if it is in that central zone around boot camp with the river that runs through, there's so much. It just causes chaos when there's a river in the final zones. Talking of rivers, someone's gone underwater in boot camp. They found that secret underground stream.
Yeah, we're with Jack Cousteau at the minute. Let's have a look. Here we are. Thank you very much.
There's a reference for our teenage audience.
Yeah, they're not going to get that.
So we are in boot camp with Team 17 SD, Team 6 GC. We've got DG, Team 23, all featured in the late stages of the games tonight. We've got RS.
There's our first zone, and my word, it's kicking off just to the south here. So we're gonna, as much as I don't want to leave boot camp, we've got 3 teams all going at it very aggressively here.
You called Painan, you've got your crystal ball out, you've called Painan as the place, and you are absolutely right. We've got 3 teams. Yeah, we've got Team 21 on one side, we've got 11 and 24 on the other side. They're getting into it with each other, and I think they're going to fight Team 21 for the final.
And here we go, out the windows. Fast sprays with the Uzi. I mean, we're not even mounted up properly for weapons and armour at this point, but these guys going at it. Switch out to the AKM. Great work from Janet, says Hex there. Try saying that when you've had a few.
Well,
Shan, just about. I wouldn't try it twice.
Basically, these guys, all they've got is they've picked up just enough so they've got something to throw at someone else, and then they're going at it. So this is brilliant. Last game of the night, and they are properly getting into it quickly.
And our friends from squad number 11, CX here, that's the Morningstar guys, and they're really under it. But don't forget, we've also got the guys from Team 21, that's Roxford, and they're gatekeeping the hell out of this on the other side of the river. So this is going to be a very interesting fight.
Look at them. They've got one person looted and the rest are all watching over here, watching over the bridges, just trying to see, waiting for someone to peek. A careless look when they're... and we've got Team 9 up on the hillside as well, overlooking all of this.
So this fight has been particularly brutal for the guys from squad number 24, that's RS Rise.
16 taken down by only.
But that is one of the guys from CX taken out. RX Rise here, doing his best to absolutely keep going. Did his best to, his or her best to get his teammates up, but under pressure now, solo, no rotation out of this possible. Going to get pushed on very, very quickly, I would imagine. There is a spanner in the works potentially with the guys from squad 21 the other side of the river, but I would imagine that this is going to be closed out pretty quickly, Jamie.
Yeah, no helmet, level 1 vest, no bag. Got an Uzi, but that's going to be...
I think that I think the Uzi and the very fetching hat there might not be enough.
No. I do find the helmet is pretty much a prerequisite. They're not pushing hard. They're not pushing as hard as you might think. Maybe they don't know exactly where the player is. They know that Team 21 were on the other side, but they've moved out. Team 21, it looks like they've gone chasing after Team 9 on the hillside there.
The other thing they also know, and that's one thing for the spectating audience to consider, is, at this level there aren't too many bad gunfighters. So, even that push, you potentially risk, if you don't do it the right way, you potentially risk losing a player, and CX already down at 2. So, it's not an easy decision early stage of the game.
Well, talk about centre zone controlling. Team 15 there, Bad Boys. They're in paradise. They're absolutely slap bang centre zone.
And we're back to boot camp now, and there's plenty of action going on here. We're here with squad number 6. Squad number 17, 23 seem to be coming under some pressure. 6 occupying the 3 central buildings, pretty much the prime location in boot camp here.
Yeah, DG, Team 23. It looks like their only remaining player that's up and able is actually retreating away from this, and that's probably a right decision.
Absolutely.
Only got one player left, and that's Unix, who's knocked.
So
Team 17 swarming all over. So there's no real hope for 23 in this fight.
No, 17, I imagine, will clear this one up, but then they're going to get... we'll see. Sometimes people do play it a little bit quiet in boot camp once they've established their position. It is a great central location on the map. Forget the loot. It's just a great central location on the map.
Yeah, they know there's another team around. They don't know who. They may know, I don't know. But I don't think they'll know exactly who it is. But they know there's another team around somewhere.
Our friends
both of these teams are good guys.
And it looks like Unix is just going to bleed out anyway. So, okay, let's have a look at our general situation. So we've got a hard shift up to the north with our first circle. Second circle. And, yeah, interesting. So the guys in Paradise, yeah, like you said, Jerry, Bad Boys, slap bang centre.
Be interesting to see what happens with Cherrick, Team 16, and Vic, Team 7. Whether they stay where they are or whether they actually move to a more northerly position, gambling that the zone's going to go up there, or whether they stay closer to centre zone. Team 16, that's the position I was saying I really like that compound.
Yeah, that would pretty much be the prime location with that circle. I would say looking potentially for the later phases of play. We'll see how it pans out.
So shots going in from these guys now. Oh, a bit of coded messages coming out there.
Now, Skis potentially going out as either to look to rotate around the other side of boot camp here and get a flanking shot, or looking to clear the area to the north. That is one of the biggest problems sometimes at boot camp. Even if you win it, you can get absolutely nailed from the high ground.
Yeah, I think Skis has actually taken the QBU. I'd imagine he's got got a scope on there that's pretty useful and going around for a different angle. So the other players are just keeping Team 6 busy, so their focus isn't on the side here.
Yeah,
it is risky going across that.
Hence the gunfire, and that's an interesting shift, Jamie. That's still perfect location for Cherrick. They can gatekeep the northwest island, make sure their back is clear, and look to rotate. And these guys at boot camp, they're still on the edge of zone.
Yeah, look at that Team 18 D-Force out in the northwestern island there. They're going to rotate in the blue, and they're going to have to make a decision where they're going to cross the water. If they go to the north, they'll have Cherricks waiting for them.
Okay, so we're going to jump away from that one in boot camp. You simply can't wait for everybody to start shooting at boot camp. You'll be there all day.
What a surprise! It goes straight to Baldy Top.
I literally wasn't intentional. I think my mouse hates me.
I think the force drew you to it. It just knows. It just knows.
I think my mouse hates me. It's literally saying, "Yeah, we're going to just keep calling you Baldy Top vibes." I'm sorry. Yeah.
And CM1 Aries there. Not sure quite what happened. I can't even see where they are on the map, actually.
Right, we're going to jump here with our friends from squad number 13. They're well and truly in it. They managed to pick up 1 kill already. They're getting into it with our friends from squad number 12. 12 certainly coming under some pressure here, I feel.
Yeah, RS0, they are getting pushed a little bit. They've got the blue behind them. 13 are gatekeeping them. Nades coming down, just stopping their progress. So, a bit of a sticky situation here, Team 12. They've got 25 seconds, 350 metres, but it's not the distance, it's the fact that they've got Team 13 between them and zone.
And phase number 2, so 13 certainly not looking to give up this high ground here, nor should they.
And I think BHO, is it BHO that's in, I think someone's up in one of the sniper towers, maybe. There's 13 here doing a great job. I mean, one of them's going to have to try and make a break for zone, I think, themselves, and leave the other 3 to hold these guys up.
Here we go, these guys getting into it. One of the more subtle aspects of Sarnok that a lot of people forget, even I've seen even top players forget about it, is when you're fighting up slope like this, you do not have the ability to go prone. Some places it just will not let you do it, but RS under a lot of pressure here.
Both teams are actually, and Pick Pussy here having to make a run for it back into the blue. So both teams taking damage from the blue, but Team 12 under a huge amount of pressure here from Team 13, doing a brilliant job of gatekeeping. But I think Team 13 should be sending one player back to the blue, back to the safe zone, just to make sure at least one of them gets through.
Also, send out a scout for your next location, especially on a map like Sarnok. You do not want to be running into your rotation blind.
No, they don't need all 4 players to do it.
And here comes the push. These guys have decided to end it, and there we go. So there goes the push. Yeah, great play from these guys. Not prepared to mess about in the blue anymore. They need to think about their rotations, and they get the clear. So we're down to 54 players left alive. 17 teams still contesting. We're going to be on the main island. And, heading ground around Paradise Resort right now. Our friends from Bad Boys dropped there straight away. Got to be pretty good real estate.
Yeah, and still no one's gone to that northern area. Now, I'm sure I'll be proved wrong, but I've just got to go through the way it's gone. Everyone's concentrated down in the southern half of zone. Team 7, Vic, they're fairly north. I'm just wondering if it might be worth a gamble from one of the teams that are in that mid-zone.
Interestingly, our friends from CN1, winners of game 2 and 3, got squad number 22, our winners of game 1, not too far away. But interestingly, they've normally rotated pretty centrally, pretty early to gatekeep. At the moment, they seem to be content to rotate edge of the blue. So that's a slightly different change. But of course, rotations on Sarnok different from every other map because it's pretty much always done on foot.
Absolutely, it's just not the distance involved. It's not the distance that hurts you in Sandheart like it does maybe in Miramar or Erangel. It's the fact that around any rock, any tree, there could be a squad waiting in the grass for you.
Although I would say that Aries has probably got a vehicle there, the speed that he's rotating edge of blue. We're going to check, and looks like these guys are now coming into contact.
Yeah, so it looks like someone's just started to knock on one of the CM1 players. Silence putting some shots in return, getting the knock on one of Team 22 on GC Faith Killer there. Can't quite see which one, but I'm sure the knock's been established on one.
Aries taking a flank location. Look like these guys potentially wanted to do a sneaky edge of blue rotation, but haven't managed it.
No, and I think maybe they're going to GC are going to get back to their knock player by the looks of it.
Yep.
Now these guys are all out of zone, of course.
Phase 3 of the game, and that looks like more knocks are being established on the guys from GC here. So Cold looking to move towards zone, whilst also looking for Aries on this left flank.
He's looking in the right direction. He knows roughly where Aries is. I'm not sure if he spots it. Maybe he knows roughly where he is. I think Aries is just below the line of the hill there. So yeah, Team 22 GC, they've sent one of their players in towards, is actually in zone now. So whatever happens, they've got at least one player in zone.
So we get 16, 17, 20 all rotating in from the west. Looks like we might be getting some action with our friends who were in Paradise initially. They've moved more centre zone. We might have to break off this one and go there if that starts to kick off.
Yeah, so they've rotated from Paradise. Like you say, to make sure they're heading in towards centre zone. Good tactical play, that is. Oh, just getting a look on Aries.
Just had a little peek. Little peek.
And you can see they've rotated away in the buggy. Very congested around this southern edge, especially the southwestern edge.
We're going to check out our friends from We're Alive.
So they've got 15 they've basically completely stripped Paradise of anything useful and then headed east towards centre zone. Team 15, Bad Boys.
Bad Boys are occupying the central compound outside. They've got a couple of different teams. I mean, this is a prime location they've occupied here, but as we know with prime locations, we're only phase 3 of the game. That can mean you get pushed on from everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Duck doing great work there, establishing the knock. Here we are with Do from RXT, making sure he's covering the back door.
These guys well in zone. We've got the player from Team 15 is now in the building.
And I think they managed to establish the knock on one of the Bad Boys players there. Took some damage for you, though.
Yeah, that was Duck. It's, yeah, as you say, get some damage in return. So these guys are actually, looks like they're rotating away. They're going to head towards centre zone, I think.
And this has been a little bit expensive for our friends from Bad Boys. 2 players down.
Yep, and they're no longer in centre zone. They're still in zone, but they're right on the edge. So they need to do what Team 19 have done, which is actually rotate away. Team 21. Look at that, straight into centre zone. And they've got 2 players from Team 9 from Only, and they're joining them.
And getting back to what we were looking at earlier, CM1 decided out of that. They've rotated very, very hard. They didn't want to be getting in it with squad number 22. They've rotated very hard, and they're coming in from the northeast now. We've got squad number 7 out there. We're going to jump back with our friends from 15.
So Bad Boys trying to take out the vehicle there. Just make it as hard as possible for 19.
These guys occupy the prime location at this moment in time. Well, certainly the more central location.
Yes, an example of, I'm guessing they've got a real strong in-game leader. Looks at the map, look where centre zone was and where they were located. They broke away from the fight they were in, and they've decided exactly where they're going to go. And look, they've got high ground, they've got
top of the hill, hard cover. These guys are thinking, yeah, later phases of play.
If they'd carried on with that fight, yes, they might have got a knock or a kill, but equally it could have gone the other way. But what they've got now is they've got a potentially dominant position in centre zone.
So we are in phase 4 of the game. 35 players left alive. 13 teams still contesting at this point. And as you can see, We got everybody around this high ground with this central stone monolith here. And, yeah, this is going to get very, very tasty.
Yeah, and what you've got, it's almost like a reverse bowl, isn't it? You've got sort of the high ground in the middle, and then you've got a dip like a moat just at the bottom of it. But they're going to be made to work for it as the rest of the team start rotating it towards centre zone. Team 21. It's not going to be easy for them. Everyone else is going to make it hard for them to hold that zone.
So here we are with GC. They're looking to establish themselves. They've got a knocked player, however. These guys have managed to find themselves a little bit of high ground, a little bit of cover just inside circle. We're in phase 4 of the game. The next circle is about to break in about 10 seconds.
But I like the fact as soon as their player was knocked, the rest of them swarm round, make sure they had cover, make sure there was no immediate threat in the vicinity, so they can get the revive on their player. I'm assuming their player's close enough. I'm trying to see where they are actually. Actually, no, they're quite spread.
So we are here with CN1 again, our winners of game number 2 and 3. They're getting into it with squad number 9. That is our friends from Only Esports. We've got Shy Baby has been knocked. Aries, we've got a kill shot in game number 3. Doing his best to put out the smokes, put out the nades. Also got RS, squad number 20 coming in, and they've fallen under Aries scope. Puts the spray in there, not only gets a knock, doesn't quite establish the thirst though, but going for it now, yep.
Does now. And look at this.
And that's another knock.
Kill leader in the previous match.
And that's another knock, literally taking on 3 players there from his flank, whilst the rest of his team are engaged in a gunfight to their front. You have to say that's a fantastic play, but CM1 not getting it their own way. They're right on the edge of blue now, and they've got squads in front of them who are making it hard.
Yeah, this is starting to hurt. The other squads are facing the other direction as they try and make the run in, but they've got someone, they know they're there now. He's going to have to be aggressive, otherwise he's just not going to make it into zone. He needs to get some heals in.
I don't think he's going to make it. Aries bleeds out.
And CL1 go down in 7th place.
So we're down 13 players left alive. 5 teams still contesting. There is our next circle. So that is not a good day for our friend from squad number 16. 13 find themselves right on the edge. Bad boys well out into the blue here. GC, look at the position. Look at the position GC are taking here.
Yeah, but look at 21. They're immediately, as soon as that zone broke, as soon as they're able to, they're rotating into zone. But it's not going to be easy for them. They've got some rocks, but they're low down. Team 22, exactly as you said, they've got the prime position here.
21 now coming in, trying to cover a lot of ground, these guys. Rounds going in towards our friends from GC. We're down to 12 players. 4 teams left alive. GC coming under an increasing amount of pressure, but CX also doing the same. 21 also coming under pressure. So, yep, good play. We see this a lot. Establish 1 player in zone. If he can manage to get the res on his teammate in time, he knows he's got players on the high ground to his right. He knows he's got players to his front.
Needs to keep looking where he was. If he's not careful, he's got team 13 up the hill from him. But there he goes. No, he's a bit of cover there.
Yep, I think he's aware. Making sure that he's establishing himself in zone. 13 doing the same. All very busy on this western part of the zone. 22 who positioned themselves beautifully. They've certainly had to fight for it coming in.
Yeah, they've got 2 players knocked though. They're not having it all their own way this time. They've got a good position, but they are under a lot of pressure here from the other teams. Team 13 and 21. Down to our final 3 now.
And they have to hope that 13 and 21 really start to take chunks out of each other. There is our next circle, and that actually does work for 22 if they can come together. Beautiful knock established by Bison there.
Oh. Talk about a thread in the eye of the needle there between the tree and the rock. Literally one position he can get the shots in, and he absolutely nailed it.
So he knows his teammates have established a presence. Edge of zone. He's pushing to the right. He wants this over and wants his teammates to the left to be in a better situation. Out come the throwables.
Yeah, making sure he puts these teams under pressure. Just gatekeeping them, stopping them getting into zone, at least stopping them from making an easy rotation. They've got a player in zone. They don't have to worry too much. this player can actually go in and
that is great. That is great strategic play from the guys from 22 under the Kosh coming in there, but establishing a presence in zone, then pushing the flank to make sure that these guys to the high ground on the right are coming under increasing pressure. GC Cold has the prime location here. Bishop doing his very best to make sure that they're not going to get away with it, and you have to say the guys from GC look to be in control.
I think they might die to zone here.
Bosh, there we go. It's all over. That was it. That was great work from our friends from GC there. I do believe that was exactly the same squad who got the win in game number 1, as I recall. So yeah, that was just fantastic play in our final sort of minutes of play there. Very well thought out. Make sure that these guys on the right can't push too aggressively forward because they are getting flanked whilst establishing the presence centre zone with Cold there. Very well thought out win. Absolutely fantastic stuff to see. Okay, we see in first place our friends from GC taking the win in game number 4 on Sarlop with 6 kills. In second place, we have the fellas from RXT. 9 kills for those guys, 3 apiece for those 3 members. And in third place, CX. You have to say, great game from these guys, 14 kills. Our individual kill leader in our top 3 is BHO from CX with 6. Yeah, we'll have a look for you. 4 through 7, nothing coming close to 6. 8 through 11, and we're having a look down there. One of our players from SD managing to pick up a 4 there, but doesn't look like anything approaching BHO. 12 through 15. One player with 3, Mentalis. Normally lights up the kill feed, that young man. So, yeah, that is 12 through 15. And 16 through 19. Pretty dire down there. And there we have squad number 20. Another team from GC, only establishing the 1 kill. So, fantastic work from all of our teams this evening. But ultimately, GC squad number 22 and squad number 5 from Tip Top, they share the dinners 2 apiece. Going to be very interesting to see how that one comes out in the final results there. That's yeah, that is going to be a very, very interesting set of results to see. Obviously, those will be published on the Tip Top server. Normally pretty quick, these guys, to be fair. Okay, Jeremy, just a few words about game number 4 before we sum up the evening. Yeah, what were your thoughts there? I thought GC there just played that very intelligently at the end.
Absolutely. They split up the 2 players. They made sure they had one in zone, and the other was the one that was causing the nuisance for everyone else. Basically making the noise, putting the knocks in, sending the nades in, making sure that the player that was in zone didn't have to reveal their position. Just there was, it was technically a 2v2 at the end, but one of the others was knocked and one was in the zone getting harried. So in the end, it was just very, like you say, very good tactical play, which meant in the end they didn't actually have to fire a shot to win.
Yeah, it was. I just loved that push to the right flank. He knew he was pushing outside of circle there, but knew he didn't have to worry. His job was actually to keep the other teams that were still 2 teams right at the end when he was doing that. But he knew he had to keep those players who were coming into circle towards Cold there busy because Cold was well established. Cold can med up, make sure he's healthy. The rest of the players coming in are going to be very, very busy. And yeah, that was just a very, very well thought out play. I mean, that's the kind of discipline and skill that you expect at this level of scrim.
Well, they also know that he was taking on 2 other teams, but they also know that those 2 teams were fighting each other. Mm-hmm. So he was just going in there to be the spoiler, just to
absolutely.
take chunks of health if possible, make it difficult for them to get into zone. And that's what came about. It was the zone that actually got the final kill because he'd gone there and made sure that they couldn't med up. There were shots coming in. They was just being the spoiler, being that, super aggressive because they already had a player in zone. It almost, and it's not the right terminology, but it almost didn't matter what happened. He was just there to be annoying and to spoil their day.
Yeah, just really, really fantastic stuff. We've had a fantastic night of scrims, boys and girls. Some great play. It's just been action constantly, pretty much, since we hit start in game one, frankly. Lots of great gunfights, lots of fantastic tactical rotations and decisions being made. Exactly what you want to see from this level of play. Excuse me.
And some of the kill counts as well. You know, we haven't had 2 kills, 1 kill for the winning team. We haven't had someone snaking for the win. You know, game one, I think it was, we had 19 kills.
Yeah, that was actually the same guys as our winners from game number 4. Actually, GC there. Yeah, I was going to put you on the spot there, Jamie. Say, what was your moment of the evening? Apart from saying pragmatic about 9 times.
Well, quintessentially,
you can't have that one. I fed you that one, dude. Come up with your own.
I think I have to be honest. Was the fact for the first time in all the time we've been casting together, you corpsed me with a comment.
What can I say, mate? You know what I mean? I'm a funny guy.
I think actually we had 1 game freeze tonight, and it lasted about 90 seconds or something.
Yeah,
like
about that. That was good.
But apart from that period, we were lucky. That was about the only period in all 4 matches where we didn't have a huge amount of action. It was in that sort of rotating, looting phase. The rest of it, we have seen such a spread of action throughout all games on all the maps.
I think for me, how do you do it? I mean, how do you do it? I mean, such an exceptional amount of great moves tonight.
For me, and that was, I know it was Team 8. I can't remember what the, crikey, I can't remember the name of the team.
Keep it.
But they were overlooking the fight between 2 teams, and they nearly ran past the team. There was a duo in the building.
Yeah, that was a push by squad. That was a push involving team number 10, Eclot, and team number 8. Literally taking on 2 squads simultaneously. That was some spectacular play. For me, I have to say that the final stage is game 1, actually, which is unusual. But final stage is game 1, Erangel, while alive, that very aggressive push into team number 6 from GC to take that compound. But you have to say, GC squad number 22, Faith Killer, my word, coming downhill, laying the smoke, pushing into a team, knowing they got guys on the flanks and racking it up with 19 kills. I'm sorry, that's just a class act in anyone's book. And that was a great privilege to watch.
It was. And also, actually, the very first action we saw in game 1, so the first action of the night, was in Rozhok, where they had Team 6 it was, and I can't remember the team. I've got rid of the tab with the team names.
He's quintessentially not pragmatic enough, boys and girls. His memory's not as good as it used to be.
We're on to R now. So... yeah, and it was that one where they had the 2 players. So each team had got a kill each. So it was 3 on 3. So and what Team 6 had is they had 1 player that was taking the slightly more distant view, ready to try and get the knock as soon as one of the opposition peaked with the Scar L with, I think it was a 6 times.
Yeah, that's right.
And exactly as you called it, as soon as a player got near the window, he established the knock, and then the team swarmed. They took down that 1 player, but then we had that brilliant defensive attacking battle in the building in Rozhok.
Yeah, it was great stuff. And Jamie has moved on to the R's now. Jamster the Hamster is regretting being monstrously rubbish. And so I can play this game all night, dude. I'm really good. Anyway, boys and girls, Jamie and I, obviously, we have fun all the time. So it is time to end the stream. I would like to say very much thank you to our hosts for this evening. Tip Top, as always. A well-run event. Mostly, though, actually, to all of our teams this evening for providing so much great footage, so much great gameplay to cover, frankly. Always makes the stream exciting. Always a great privilege to provide the coverage for you guys. Jamie and I just really, frankly, enjoy it. Who wouldn't enjoy watching gameplay like that? So well thought out, great one-on-one gunplay, excellent strategic decisions. This really is some fantastic stuff. So thank you all to the players. Again, thank you to the people who followed the stream and who commented in chat. We really do appreciate that. No doubt, Jamster, the hamster, and I will move on to a different letter of the alphabet for our next stream for Tip Top. We do enjoy streaming for you guys. We will be back with Tip Top Scrims, I'm sure, very, very shortly, sometime early next week. Just remains for me to thank very much all the guys from the esports collective, Siren, Abs, Sane Sausage, Summer. Most importantly, my co-host for the evening, Jamster, the hamster.
Really remarkable.
Really remarkable.
Thank you very much.
That's the best
if
you've
there's
got.
anyone watching who has any merch deals, you know there's a T-shirt in the making, and there's a mug here for Mr. Baldy Top.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm getting a
But it's been
Jamster.
an absolute pleasure.
I'm going to be doing the next stream drinking from my Mr. Baldy Top mug whilst wearing a Jamster the Hamster t-shirt. That's got to be done.
It's the fashion trend of 2021.
What can I
Telling you
say?
now.
We are trendsetters over here at the Esports Collective. Anyway, boys and girls, thank you all very much indeed. Fantastic event of PUBG Mobile Scrim play. Yeah. Can't wait to see you next time. I'm Vimes177 Gaming. And as always, boys and girls, good hunting and bye for now.